Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for joining us here at 816 Podcasting presents episode 3 of Mark Out Wrestling. We're going to be giving you all of the big news from this week, but more importantly, we're going to be recapping NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 and giving you our final predictions for Summerslam just hours before the biggest party of the summer goes live.
All right, we have to start with TakeOver, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was awesome.
That
really set the bar.
That was such a good show. I always think takeovers are going to be good, but this one I was a little down on just from previous ones. Man, they really blew me away the whole show.
So should we just start with the main event?
No, we got to finish with that.
Oh man, that was can't. Okay,
no. Let's just go down the card and we'll talk about it in that order.
So Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah. Dude, that match
was awesome.
I actually have that as my match of the night.
That set the bar right off the bat. You're just like, man, who's going to follow that?
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't end the way, we predicted it with Gargano winning. But I think
Did I predict Gargano winning?
Well, I did. I don't know if you did.
I think I predicted Andrade.
But I think it's a good thing that Gargano didn't win.
Yeah, man.
Because
she threw the DIY shirt. Still keeps that in the back of your mind.
I
wish it would have let him reveal it a little bit more and just stare at it.
That spot was really cool, but it unfolded too quickly. He needed to open the shirt up a little more so we could see clearly that it was a DIY shirt.
Yeah, and almost didn't need to rush him. It needed to just kind of freeze Gargano that he saw that shirt, and then he gets caught.
Exactly. Did you little talk? Did you see Ciampa's glorious bomb that he did on Twitter? It's like him, and it's how they do the glorious bomb where Bobby Roode's music plays when they were together. They would do it, and he's just standing there, and you hear Bobby Roode's music playing, and all of a sudden he turns the camera to his shoulder, and he's got the video of him turning on Gargano, and he's just shaking his head. Yeah,
that's messed up.
Yeah,
man.
it was pretty funny. But overall, dude, yeah, that match, it really set the bar and the tone for how the whole pay-per-view was going to go, and overall, TakeOver did not disappoint whatsoever.
They did a good job of giving Almas a win, but keeping that DIY in your mind, because that rivalry is going to be lit when it comes, man.
Oh yeah, and there was lots of counters in that match. Each person was countering each other's moves.
Yeah, that had to be dark horse for match of the night anyway. Those guys always put on a show.
It was so good, and you almost had Almas tap out to the Gargano escape.
That's not my match of the night, though.
Okay, we'll get to yours. But and then he got the hammerlock DDT for the win. But man, when she threw that DIY shirt in there, dude, it hit you right in the feels, didn't it?
Right? Come on, man, that's messed up.
That was a great match. Great.
That was the first time Vega had to interfere, really.
Yeah.
On Almas's behalf.
Yeah.
Which again gives more credit to Johnny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think this is good for him. It builds him up to do kind of like the underdog, where eventually, by the time Ciampa comes back, he'll be in the title picture, if not the NXT champion, in my opinion. Gargano, that is.
Yeah. So, tag team match.
Oh, dude,
nobody saw them
losing.
Surprised
at how well that match ended up being.
The spot where Nikki Cross gets caught. And
dude, I thought she was dead.
And then Dane spears Razor and her through the table.
I loved how.
That was so good.
I loved how Eric Young replaced Dane.
Yeah, they choose speed over power.
Yeah,
right off the bat.
I thought it was brilliant. And man, Alexander Wolf, dude, he was just kind of throwing the Authors of Pain around the ring with his suplexes and stuff like that.
Right.
That guy's huge, and he's gonna be.
He looks so small next to them, though.
Yeah, he did, but man, he still had a lot of strength.
That spot through the table, though, I was that's one of those spots that stay with you. A few years later, you easily recall that.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome. I was man, that poor girl.
Man, both teams looked real good though. I think me and you had talked about it. Neither one of us were expecting a whole lot from this match, just because neither team is on the level as DIY or the Revival, but both teams showed up and. It turned out to be a really good match.
It turned out to be way better than I expected.
Yeah. And then
O'Reilly and Fish.
Red Dragon.
What do you think?
I thought it was awesome to see them come out and they just attacked everybody.
Everybody, not just the champs.
So when it first happens, you don't know. They're not faces. They're not heels. They just want the belts and they don't care who gets in their way. And I didn't think we were going to see them again after that, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But overall, that match That match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Tommy and Black was fun. Black got busted up right early, man.
Yeah, and that made the match feel so much better.
Right? Because it's
whenever
like,
you get to see some color
bleeding
in a match, I don't think, we don't see it as enough.
Especially now that there's not as much fake blood. That
right.
You're like, this guy really got busted open.
When you get busted open hard way, it adds to the match. And this is probably the worst match of the night. And that's not saying that it was a bad match. It's just the other matches were so good.
Oh, it was
they
a great
exceeded
match,
my expectations. I already expected a lot for this match. So, but what I thought was great was Tommy hits two Falcon arrows, but
one of them off the top rope.
Yeah, but Black kicks out, and then there's that really scary the miscalculated springboard moonsault that.
Black he basically just hit a leg on him.
Yeah, and he just
looked like he dived on his head or something.
Yeah, that was scary, but
yeah.
That was a good match. Do you think where does the Tommy or not the
Tommy goes up to the main roster?
What does Black do from here?
He could
because I could see him coming up to the main roster too. I don't think he needs a run with the NXT title because I don't think there's anybody in NXT.
I agree, but if they take up Rude and they take up a Tommy, like they still need bodies down there and big names down there.
If I have the choice between those three, I'd rather than bring up Aleister Black.
No, I don't think.
Oh yeah, in my opinion,
no.
He's so much better than the other
I choose
two.
Bobby Roode.
He's more entertaining.
I want to see Bobby Roode versus the big names of WWE.
Yeah, I was reading that Roode is expected to be called up, and I was reading today that they're going to put him right in the main event picture.
Good, that's where he belongs.
One of the top 5 guys on the main roster, which is good because he's pushing top 40, 5. Right? If not 40 already.
Who's top 5 right now
on the main roster?
Who do you think they think is top 5?
Cena,
right?
Lesnar,
yeah.
Roman,
yep.
Braun,
okay.
Styles.
I just want to see if Styles was in there.
Yeah. I mean, I would say those are the top, not necessarily in that order, but Aleister Black hit the Black Mass for the win.
Yeah,
it was a fun match. It was a good match overall.
It was a good match. Yeah.
Is this next match your match of the night?
Yeah.
The ladies.
Yeah.
Dude,
Asuka and Ember stole the show, man.
Oh my god, man! It was just like months of build-up.
I can't believe she kicked out of the Eclipse.
I know, but months of build-up, and it paid off astronomically.
I read that Ember gained more in defeat than she could have with a win,
which makes sense.
That's so true.
Yeah, just like how over she was with the crowd. It almost felt like it was her curtain call, like she was going up to the main roster. I don't think she is.
I don't think she is either.
But it felt like it was her
send-off. Someone has to hold it down if Asuka goes up.
Yeah,
and I think now's the best time to send Asuka up with the Mae Young Classic. You get all this new talent coming in.
Yeah, for sure. And
when else could you send Asuka? Now's the time.
When Moon applied the Asuka lock or like a variation of the Asuka lock.
Tried to, yeah.
Yeah. And then man, that series at the end that ended in the Asuka lock was so good.
Yeah, with Asuka playing possum.
I didn't want that match to end.
That was a great match.
I was hoping she was going to get the ropes or something. I wasn't ready for it to end.
That was a great match.
That was probably.
Did you see Asuka like staring at like Bailey, Sasha, and Becky while she was applying hurting that arm? It's like, man, I want to see their reaction. Now go to them.
There was a point
she was just showing off for him
where Ember Moon looks at Asuka and yells, "I hate you!" It was so good. Like it just felt like there was legitimate hatred between those two in this match.
I love that. Like, who did Kevin Owens do that to? Was it Sami Zayn? Where he's in the ring and he screams, "I hate you," and Sami Zayn goes, "I hate you too," and then kicks him in the face or something.
Yeah, that's another thing, man. Asuka kicked Ember Moon's face right off her head.
That was such a good match, man.
God, it was probably
Everyone's tweeting this morning about the streak or whatever.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I think now, I don't think Asuka loses the title until she gets called up. But here's the thing. It feels like she's still not getting called up for a while, doesn't it?
It does, but I hope that's not the case. I hope she gets called up, man. I hope she gets called up with the belt and just has the English shit.
Yeah, she definitely needs to come up with the belt.
She's done everything she could possibly do in NXT.
Yeah.
It's time to move on.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
She's one of the best in the world. She needs to be wrestling with the best in the world.
I agree.
Which not to say Ember isn't. Ember is awesome.
Yeah. Ember Moon, if she did get called up, I mean, she'd make an immediate impact on the main roster too. I don't think she is, but Yeah, she definitely could.
You think anyone gets called up tonight at SummerSlam?
Probably not. Don't think so. But we'll kind of talk about a theory that I talked to you a little bit about earlier and see what you think about that.
All right.
I want to leave that as a surprise for later. But on to the main event.
Wow, what a match!
Man, it was such a good match, and that ending where Rude hits he hits two
glorious DDTs,
and he goes for the third,
and then he gets caught.
Yeah, gets caught into the Claymore for the win. God,
the second Claymore of the match.
Yeah, the second Claymore. Yeah, exactly.
That's just a good match. I love the beginning where Bobby Roode realizes the size disadvantage.
Oh, I know.
He's just staring him down oh shit.
Dude, it's crazy. I remember Drew McIntyre's first run in WWE. He was not this big.
Right?
Yeah, that dude bulked up a lot. I didn't realize he was
Bobby Roode
6'5".
Was this guy's pecs are bigger than my head.
I know, dude. And Roode was McIntyre was kind of manhandling Roode a little bit in that match.
Roode was being the crafty veteran.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see Roode just have this innovative offense.
It's pretty clear though that Rude's coming up to the main roster.
Oh, I'm so happy about that.
And he deserves it. He really does. I was reading people were saying they're getting bored with Bobby Roode. I don't know how, man. I think all of his matches are good. I think his character's good.
Yeah.
He's got the best entrance in
I agree.
WWE.
I made my buddy who doesn't care about wrestling at all. He used to watch it as a kid, but he was trying to go to bed, and I was like, no. You don't have to watch this match, but come watch this entrance.
Yeah. He has the best entrance. I mean, next to, Aleister Black's entrance is pretty fucking dope, too.
Yeah, man. The live band yesterday.
You want to talk about the end, though? The finish?
What Cole.
Happened after the match?
Adam Cole.
Dude, it was so good how they did it, where they put
You knew instantly, the fans started screaming, and everyone sort of, pointing, off to camera, and I was like, oh, I was
kind of getting annoyed with that, though. I'm like, move the camera. I don't want to know that he's there. I just want to see him come out, and then, you turn around. He turns around, and Red Dragon's right there.
Yeah.
And he walks up to him, and you're like, oh, shit, it's going down now. And, man, that pop that Adam Cole got
was awesome.
It was so loud. And
he's ready to take over. It's going to be his NXT soon.
It does feel like they are going to be a heel stable. I like that. Is that ROH stable?
Yeah, man. I like it's it'll be interesting to see if anyone forms a group to combat it.
Like an alliance.
Because it looks like they're gonna just run the place, right?
Yeah. I would love this to last and they get called up to the main roster together. Same stable and everything. I'm interested.
This feels like a little Shield thing where we just come in, we do our own thing.
I'm interested to see if Roderick Strong joins this group at all or anything, because he was Mr. ROH. So I'm interested to see if he does anything with this group. But man, what a statement they made!
Right, and the statement was, "We just want gold.
Yeah,
we don't care
who has it. We're
here
to beat your ass. We don't care who has it.
We're here to take gold. They want the tag belts.
Yeah,
Adam Cole's coming for the NXT Championship.
I marked out hard when I saw Adam Cole, dude. It was, I was starting to worry. I was like, man, because they put up the little end credit box that they always put up, the copyright box or whatever, and I was like, oh, they're not gonna have him debut, and then
the fans start freaking out. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, I guess Adam Cole's not gonna make a surprise appearance, and then the fans start freaking out, and you're like, well, I guess Adam Cole's over there.
Yeah, and there was no better way for them to bring him in either. That was the perfect way for him
just instantly shoots to the top.
Yeah,
instantly looks like he's gonna be running the place.
Yeah, and that kind of it made you feel bad for Drew McIntyre, right? Because this was his redemption story, and he finally wins the title. And it's cut super short. He doesn't have time to even enjoy it.
I don't see it like that. I see it as soon as you become the champion, you got a target on your back. Let's go.
No, yeah, that's fine. But you have I had this.
Oh, you're saying because it wasn't the night wasn't about him.
Yeah, it didn't end up being about him, and
he was the afterthought. Oh, and by the way, Drew McIntyre won the championship.
yeah, exactly. So there's no way SummerSlam can compete, right?
No way.
I don't know what they could do.
They give their guys enough time to work with, and yeah, man, they clearly want it. They clearly work for it. They got something to prove down there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting tonight to see if they can even come close. If they
name one match. Okay, Styles Owens that could compete with that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Usos and the New Day could.
That's on the kickoff show, though.
I think it's on the kickoff show to give them more time to finish the feud. Like, if it was on the main card, they wouldn't have as much time to do it.
I'm so confused on like where that match is gonna go. Like, not that match, but like.
By the way,
each team is going to go
a 2-hour kickoff show is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's too long, man. Like, we're going to be watching so much wrestling anyway.
It's a 4-hour pay-per-view with a 2-hour kickoff show.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's a 4-hour pay-per-view, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of matches on the card to fill a 4-hour pay-per-view.
Well, I prefer that. Just give them more time to work with. Give them more time to tell a story.
They'll
put on matches like we saw Saturday. It's not like these superstars aren't capable of it.
Right. No, I agree. But
so, what was your favorite match
of TakeOver?
Yeah,
I think it was Johnny Gargano versus Almas.
It
was just so good, man. Just the way that it set the bar for TakeOver was awesome. But any of those matches could have went on first, and it would have been a good way to set the bar for TakeOver. That's how good every match on that card was, and it just feels like you can tell if Vince doesn't have his finger in everything, stuff was gonna move move a lot smoother. And
already pay-per-view of the year.
It might be.
Yeah,
it's been the best TakeOver of the year
for sure. It might be pay-per-view of the year for me.
We'll find out tonight. I don't think.
Well,
tonight's the only shot that I don't think any other pay-per-view is really gonna compete this year. Tonight they got to do something tonight because I don't know. I just don't see how they're gonna compete with TakeOver. They barely compete with NXT at all. Like, NXT is clearly better than the main roster shows.
Yeah, man. It's just a wrestling show. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're a real wrestling fan, that show's for you, for sure.
You want to get into some last minute predictions for SummerSlam tonight?
Well, let's talk about the week leading up to it. Okay. Let's talk about Raw and SmackDown and how awful they were for go-home shows. Like, they really blew it, in my opinion.
There was some spots that were good, but
man, like, I haven't been more disappointed going into a pay-per-view in a long time. First of all, we saw 4 matches of the pay-per-view this week. Matches that they want you to pay for Summerslam. Right. We got for free on free TV. We got the Usos versus the New Day. We got Akira Tozawa versus Neville. We got Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, and we got
Mr. Raj and Hardys and Jason Jordan.
So 4 matches that are on the pay-per-view tonight. We got for free this week. 2,
maybe 3 of those matches are on the pre-show though. I mean, I
so don't watch the pre-show. Well, that's what WWE's telling you.
I
right?
assume that I think it's the cruiserweight matches on the pre-show.
Yeah.
The New Days and the Usos on the pre-show, and I think Mr. Raj, Hardys, and Gordon's on the pre-show.
Those are all 3 on the pre-show.
Jordan's on the pre-show. So 3 of your matches that are supposed to fill the card are going to be on your pre-show now. So now you have a 4-hour pay-per-view with 3 less matches on it.
Here's the thing that bugs me about Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt. Like, you could have done that whole segment. Like, he could have just attacked Balor backstage, or Balor could have done a ring promo and he could have attacked him in the ring and then poured blood on him. You didn't have to have a match. Yeah. Especially when it's their first match ever. You got to save something like that.
Right, I agree. They didn't need the match, but like, I know a lot of people are like annoyed that this is how they're bringing back the Demon. I'm fine with this.
Is it weird that they're not calling him the Demon King now? It's just the Demon?
I don't know if that's really like a
planned.
Yeah, like, I just think people suck at their jobs sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you definitely didn't need to have the match on TV to set up this, because they only did the match to set up the return of the Demon King.
And they didn't have to.
Yeah. They could have done anything.
That was the biggest botch of the week for me. That was the biggest, like, what are you doing? Well, never mind. It was second. Corbin cashed in and losing is number 1.
I told you it was going to happen. It just happened sooner than I thought it would.
That was so bad.
Because I had him cash in.
That was so stupid. He looked like an idiot. Why didn't he, like, attack Cena afterwards? Why are you just going to sit there and throw a fifth one and look like a fool?
He looked... You could just tell that he was going to lose. Because when he cashed in, you saw him standing there and he was just looking over his shoulder his whole time, waiting for Cena to get up.
Yeah, well, it even shows Cena on the apron for a second. And I'm like, why is Cena on the apron? And then Baron Corbin keeps, like, looking to the right. And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, and, like, what an embarrassing way to lose it, too. Just on a
I still thought he might win, though. I was like, this is going to happen. He's going to be champion. I was like, but how's that going to work for SummerSlam? Who cares? Let's go Corbin.
Right.
And then a roll up.
Yeah, it's just, man, I knew it was going to happen. I'm not mad that he cashed in and lost. I'm honestly not, because you got to do it every once in a while. Otherwise, it gets too predictable. It gets too stale. You know, it just, if the person that cashes in wins every time, there's no surprise factor there. So you got to have somebody cash in and lose every once in a while. So that doesn't bother me. It bothers me in the fashion that they did it. Like, you could have had him cash in and lose at SummerSlam, and it would have felt bigger. You know what I mean?
By far the worst cash in of all time. By far. Like, Damien Sandow at least put on a good showing. They had a match.
Yeah,
whatever.
But
it wasn't
Cena,
a surprise.
Cena basically beat him with one arm in the match,
but it's Super Cena. This guy got rolled up by Jinder Mahal.
How come all 3 times the cash-in has happened and they've lost, Cena's been involved? All 3 times. Yeah. Cena lost his cash-in, he beat Sandow on his cash-in, and he cost Corbin his cash-in.
He's been involved in a lot of successful ones, too, on the wrong end.
Well, yeah, but...
Mostly to Edge. Shout out to Edge.
But here's the thing, is at least... Cena had I don't know. He just had no business being a part of this cash-in, you know what I mean? And I don't know.
He was just coming back to get him for the briefcase hit.
The matter in which they had him lose is what bothered me.
Yeah, man. That whole thing left a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, oh.
And it feels like WWE...
That was going into SummerSlam. So
yeah, it just feels like WWE is giving up on Corbin.
I hope not.
I mean, we'll see tonight. I think he should win. Still, I think he should get the win over Cena. But I mean, I don't know what he does from here.
He needs to get more aggressive. He needs to get more violent. He needs to start acting like a wolf.
Yeah, that's 100%
among
what
sheep.
he has to do.
That's what needs to happen.
I don't know
if they really care.
Yeah. What about Neville losing the Cruiserweight title on television?
What
are they doing?
I can't believe he lost the title to begin with.
Right, but to have him lose it on Raw,
and now
you got SummerSlam coming up,
and now we have a match that we've seen 100 times before.
Yeah,
and we have to sit through it again, but we know he's not going to lose it right back, is he?
He might. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
man? Who knows what WWE does? Because I thought there was no way he loses the title at all. I certainly didn't think he was going to lose it on Raw when you have the match scheduled for SummerSlam.
This was my little closet prediction. I actually had Gargano going up and being the one to eventually dethrone Neville. I thought Neville was going to hold it for a while. I thought Gargano could have came up and just been the only face. He was a cruiserweight that had a backing. Right, the fans could have got behind him, and he could have carried the division. I thought he could have taken it off of Neville.
I'm glad that
I didn't see Tozawa doing it.
No, man, especially when you look at 3 matches against Austin Aries, where I think everybody thought Aries was going to be the one to take the title off Neville. Right?
I didn't.
You didn't at all?
No, I thought there was a good chance that he could, but I didn't want him to. That's what I meant. Well, yeah, I didn't want him to.
But I mean, for nothing against Akira Tozawa. I mean, the guy's good. He's fun to watch, but. Man, of everybody on the roster,
Neville was holding that division down, man.
I know.
He's the only reason people are watching.
Yeah, that's it. And that's why I'm glad that they didn't bring Gargano up into the Cruiserweight division.
Well, he could put some real lifeblood in that division. People would watch for him.
Man, I'd still rather him just be on the main roster and doing something there. I wish they wouldn't have broke up DIY.
Yeah.
They should have called up DIY to begin with as a tag team. I feel like they should have already been up on the main roster. But I'm glad that they didn't bring Gargano up and put him in the Cruiserweight division. Because I know you say that people would watch it just for him, but I don't even necessarily know if that's true. I feel like the Cruiserweight division might be a lost cause.
Oh,
because they don't, once they get up to the main roster, they don't let them do what they did in the Cruiserweight Classic. It is watered down.
That was just put on great matches. That's what they did.
It's watered down a lot. And I think that would have hurt him more than it would have helped the division, in my opinion.
All right. Well, we got to talk about this Shield reunion.
Yeah.
The opening segment of Raw. That was so awesome.
To finally see the fist bump.
I love that they fought first.
Yeah.
I love that they had to beat the crap out of each other to kind of get that anger out.
Right.
I hate all the teased bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro.
Finally got it. Do you think we get a full Shield reunion at any point? I'm not saying tonight, but do you think there's any point where Roman will rejoin them?
I think it'll be years before
Really?
we get a
Years?
full Shield reunion. I really do.
Oh,
I think it makes sense to do it now, just because, like I said, with Brock Lesnar being champion, you have a bunch of main event guys with nothing to fight for,
right.
and that would free up 3 main event guys right off the bat to just run the place, and without really needing a title. But I don't know if Roman joins. That would be interesting, because I mean, maybe he's still got problems with Seth.
Did they teamed up?
They teamed up a few times, but like, I don't know. You think it's water under the bridge?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're supposed to have a short-term memory, so...
So when would they team up tonight?
I mean...
I think if they do a reunion, it'll be tomorrow. Otherwise, you see the Shield getting in a fatal 4-way?
Yeah, you couldn't see them interfering and helping Roman win the title.
Man.
So all 3 members of the Shield have titles on Raw.
Let me tell you something. That would solidify... SummerSlam. Like, if the rest of the card was bad and you get a Shield reunion at the end, you go home happy.
That's one of the only things I can think of that can make this pay-per-view maybe overshadow last night's pay-per-view. Because as great as it was to see Adam Cole join, which everybody wanted to see Adam Cole join,
if you get a Shield
reunion would be it'd be more fresh, obviously, because it like just happened tonight. So you'd be thinking about that going into Raw tomorrow. Versus, I mean, we're not going to see Adam Cole at NXT this week because they've already filmed the show, right? Probably, maybe not. I always get confused with how they film NXT.
I don't know.
But I think that's one of the only things that they can do to overshadow NXT last night. There's another thing that I think they can do. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But the Shield reunion, it's also a good way to get the title off of Brock Lesnar without making him look weak going into his UFC fight, because he's going to be leaving soon, right? Like, he has to start camp soon, right?
No.
What do you mean no?
I mean, if his fight's going to happen, it's going to happen next summer.
Either way, like, you can't have him. I mean, so when do you have him drop the title?
So normally you have like a 2 to 3 month training camp before a UFC fight, or most fighters, because they want to.
I thought
they
were talking
at
about
their peak.
February is when the fight would be.
Well, no, that's when he would be like out of his suspension if he joined it now. But then he'd still need a few months. No, and he's still got WrestleMania. So if it was going to happen, it's obviously going to happen next summer.
I don't know, because like everything I've been reading is they wanted to do it in December, but he wouldn't be cleared in time. So they're talking about February.
And they're not going to let him do it for Rumble and Mania season.
I could see them.
No way Vince lets him do that. No way.
Vince wanted the fight in December. It was Vince who wanted the fight.
And you know why he wanted it in December? Because he rode to WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar's locked up. You can't have him. He's under contract. I guarantee you it doesn't happen. It's not even a question.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
Because
no way.
No, listen to me. Because here's the thing. If you think it happens after Mania, that's when Brock's contract is up. So if he doesn't resign, WWE gains nothing out of this UFC fight. It's got to happen before Mania if WWE wants to get something out of it.
I don't think WWE is just going to let him walk. They obviously want to re-sign him. They're probably in the midst of contract renegotiations now. They're not going to let him walk to take the UFC fight. They're still going to re-sign him. You're still our guy. And they're still going to, and then they let him do it.
I'm saying, I think Brock wants this fight in February. And if WWE tells him no, that doesn't help them with re-signing him.
If he
doesn't re-sign this year. If he re-signs with WWE, he doesn't re-sign until right at contract due. That's why I think this fight happens before WrestleMania.
If he wanted February, he would already be re-entering the pool. I think you're reading too much. I think it's next summer at the earliest.
I mean, I guess we'll find out. If he loses tonight, then he's definitely... I think that fight happens in February. Which I think he can lose tonight, because a lot of stuff I'm reading is he might drop the title. Because there was talk, if the fight was in December, he was supposed to drop the title to Samoa Joe. That was the plan. But they couldn't get the fight for December. But they still want to put the title on Joe at some point this year. This is, current rumors that I've read. So what other pay-per-view would make sense for them to have Joe win the title? I mean, he can win it at, regular B-show pay-per-view, sure, but SummerSlam, second biggest pay-per-view of the year, according to WWE.
Yeah, I don't think he drops the title. I think he resigns, I think he fights John Jones.
I didn't think he
dropped
the title, But now I'm becoming more convinced that it could happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I guess. But
I'll freak out with happiness if he does, man. Like, it makes no sense. He's the one guy who doesn't need it.
That doesn't need the title?
That doesn't need the title.
I agree 100%.
He just log jams the entire heavyweight division.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it just... And another thing with, like, if he wrestles at Mania next year before the UFC fight, he's not going to win that match.
No, he's supposed to lose to Roman Reigns. Drop the belt.
It doesn't look good for him, his last match in WWE, to be a loss going into UFC. Like, if he drops it now, it's not as fresh in your mind. And he can still wrestle up until that point, you know, because he does still have days on his contract, but he doesn't need to have the title to do it.
I think you're thinking too much into it. I don't think people care if he loses at Mania after holding the belt for a year.
You can't think too much into it in wrestling, man. A lot of the problems is people don't think enough into it.
Well, because now we're talking about real stuff about him going out and fighting John Jones.
Well, yeah, but that obviously works into the WWE.
You think it really hurts his credibility if he drops the belt after holding it for a full calendar year?
I don't know.
No way. He just looks more like it just puts Roman Reigns over more. Or, you know, gets him booed more. Yeah. It gets him booed more. That's the only person it affects.
A Shield reunion is one of the only things that can help get Roman over right now. In my opinion. For him to join. If you want him to get over, you have him rejoin the Shield. I don't know if the Shield would be like true baby faces, but I think that's one of the only ways you can have Roman get over now.
Yeah. Is to just hide him behind Seth and Dean's popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he would still be the leader of the Shield, you know, but it wouldn't feel just about Roman Reigns. So, you know, you'd care about the whole Shield and not just worry about Roman Reigns.
Yeah. So, Carmella teases a cash-in. I don't think it happens now.
Yeah. I didn't think it happened
Corbin
at all.
Well, I thought... Obviously, I predicted SummerSlam she would cash in, and then she comes out and says, you know, SummerSlam, I'm going to cash in. I was like, well, she's not doing that now.
Yeah, she's 100% probably not doing that now.
I think this is a good way, like each week or each pay-per-view, she teases the cash in and then doesn't do it. Like, it's just it'll build that anticipation for when she finally does. First woman to cash in.
Yeah.
I think this is a good storyline to go down.
Well, one of the things that
continue to tease it, continue to, and then just pull away at the last minute. Apparently,
WWE wants to keep the title on Naomi for a while because they want to start producing the Glow title and trying to sell that. Would you? I mean, I wouldn't pay $450 for a light bright title. Like, I hate that. No, but
maybe like
so
a
much.
16-year-old girl might.
God.
Or a daddy might for her. Who knows?
Yeah. So I don't think Carmella cashes in tonight either. I don't think she cashes in.
I would love for Carmella to make Naomi like just a paranoid champion, just always looking over her shoulder because Carmella's always there teasing the cash in.
Yeah, but
that would be.
I don't think they'd write it that way. Like,
I hope they do.
I know. I just there are times where I have so much faith in WWE, and there are times where I just don't think they care enough about a certain feud or certain situation.
And then there's other times where they make Jinder Mahal your champion. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about this match. I honestly, if she cashed in and won, I wouldn't care. If she didn't, I wouldn't care.
Carmella's awesome.
She's fine, man.
She's probably the most improved woman. Like, since her call up from NXT, like, she's easily like the most improved, right?
Yeah, probably woman wrestler. Yeah, because Nia's still garbage. I don't care what you say.
That's messed up, man.
I don't care what you say.
I mean, Alexa Bliss is awesome, but she was kind of awesome before, and now it's like.
She might be the most improved, like, once she got into the main roster, though, Alexa Bliss.
And I'm not talking about just women. I think, of all the call-ups, I think it's probably Carmella or Alexa.
I would say Braun, but he wasn't really called up. Like, he was just, brought straight into the main roster, pretty much. Yeah, it's probably one of those two. But that doesn't mean, I can't describe it. Like, I just don't care, and I don't know why. I think a lot of it has to do with James Ellsworth. Like, I hate the dude. Every time I see him on my TV, I get pissed off.
That's good. That's what they want.
Yeah,
he
but
brings
not
the heat, bro.
Not like in like a good heat way. Like, just like like X-Pac heat. Like I just fucking can't stand the guy, and I just never want to see him on my television again.
So let's talk about one good thing that they did right.
Okay.
This week was AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. In my opinion, they got that right. They had Kevin Owens super kick.
Shane.
Yeah, I don't know how AJ knew to move because I was like watching for the cue.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was about to happen. And Shane McMahon didn't give him a cue. Shane McMahon wasn't even looking at Kevin.
Was he looking at the screen?
No.
No?
No, because like he was looking more like off to the right. Like the screen would be in front. He was looking right and straight at AJ. And AJ was looking straight at him. And I was like, who gave him the cue to move? Because he just moved as soon as Kevin did it. And it's McMahon still didn't look to the left or at KO at all. I was like, man, clearly it was off camera, whatever the cue was.
Yeah. It was so good. I was thinking about this. Like, I don't want like a screwy finish in that match tonight. Like, I just want those two to go out there and put on a good match. And
that's not going to happen.
I know it's not.
I mean, they're going to put on a good match.
Yeah, but
there's got to be. It doesn't have to be a screwy finish. It just has to be something that KO can perceive as like him getting screwed over.
Right. Sure.
Obviously, Shane's going to get involved.
100%. Like,
obviously, that's the greatest thing.
It would make no sense
for him such an unknown
to be a special guest referee. Like, whenever you have a special guest referee, if they don't get involved, like, it's a missed opportunity.
Did you hear that at Battleground, that finish was a botch between Styles and KO?
I heard that it was.
Like, he wasn't supposed to be pinned there.
Yeah.
And, like, that's, like, but the refs are taught to, like, shoot count every time. And it's the wrestler's job to get their shoulders up, whatever, and Styles just didn't get his shoulder up or something.
Well, that's weird. Like, because you can clearly tell, like, with the referees, like, it can't be a shoot count every time, because sometimes they're tucking their hand on a 3 count before the guy even kicks out.
True, but, like, well, if you rewatch Battleground, he pauses between 2 and 3, and then he just counts, and you're like, what?
Huh.
And you could tell Styles was like, what?
I'll have to look at that again.
KO's just celebrating. But then, I was reading that. That's why 2 days later they put the belt back on Styles. They're like, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Huh. Because I heard like they had only put the title on Styles because they're coming out with a Styles DVD and they wanted like more big moments. So, a title win at Madison Square Garden is a huge moment. So I read like that's the only reason they put it on him then. They didn't actually want it on him at the time.
He had one of the best years in wrestling, period.
I know.
You need more big moments.
It's just like crazy to me.
Even even forget the John Cena, that TLC with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It's just like, it's like kind of mind blowing to me that Kevin Owens was Universal Champion, AJ Styles was WWE Champion, and now both of them are fighting for the US title while we have Jinder Mahal as one champion and Brock Lesnar as the other. Like, it's so infuriating.
It definitely feels like we're getting the top face against the top heel.
Yes.
For the mid-card title.
Yes, 100%.
Because Kevin Owens is for sure the top bad guy.
Yes.
And AJ Styles is for sure the top face.
Yeah, one of them. If WWE views it as John Cena as the top face.
Yeah, but
to fans, we probably perceive AJ Styles as the top baby face.
I think WWE is starting to see Styles for what he is, man.
Oh, no, I agree 100%, but he's not John Cena. Like, he's better than John Cena, but in the eyes of WWE, he's not John Cena because he hasn't been there long enough to produce the merch sales and stuff that Cena has. Getting a little off topic. Do you think this will be match of the night?
Yes.
You do?
I mean, maybe Sasha and Alexa, if they give them enough time. I think they could really steal the show.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's going to be Styles. Or it's going to be the Fatal 4-Way. Especially if it has some kind of finish where Lesnar loses that no one's expecting.
Right.
That could easily steal the show. But I think probably Styles and Owens are the safe bet.
What do you think about the rumors and the pictures of Taker? What do you think about those?
I think he's clearly going to be there. I don't know in what capacity, but like his hair's dyed black. Come on, bro. He flies to New York the weekend of SummerSlam.
Yeah, apparently Michelle McCool's already been there in New York.
SummerSlam and WrestleMania are known for like their nostalgia. They bring back these old talents.
Yeah.
Who do we got this year?
But what does he do? Like, it feels.
I hope it's something to do with Balor.
It feels way too soon. Coming off of what we perceive to be his retirement match.
Didn't he have hip surgery too?
Yeah.
But according to JR, he's good to go. He's in wrestling shape. He's cleared to compete. Oh, I don't know. Man, that moment at WrestleMania was so symbolic.
Yeah, like if that should have been how he went out. Like it that just felt perfect.
But if he's coming back, no one's complaining.
Okay, so you want him to you want it to be with Balor. Like you want it to lead to a feud with Balor?
I want the Demon King versus the Undertaker.
Do you? Because I was talking to my cousin. He's a big wrestling fan also, and he had an idea that I thought would be really cool. What if Aleister Black debuted during that match? During the Balor match, and he's like,
how would he debut during?
He just like comes out and just like beats the hell out of both of them. I don't know, but then he ends up being like the Undertaker's protege. Like that would be fucking sick. That would be awesome. The best way to debut him. And again, because like I don't think Aleister Black needs to be in NXT any longer, and I don't think he'll need a run in the main event picture because I think immediately he comes up. And I think the guy's a star. Like, he's got star written all over him. And if you somehow convince Taker to come and, like, mentor him and be there, more than once a year.
More like a manager kind of thing?
Yeah, I kind of. Maybe not like... But if he does it, like, I want it to be dark, man. Like, I want it to be Ministry of Darkness Undertaker with Aleister Black. That'd be so good.
That would be really good.
But I don't know. Like I don't think WWE's like smart enough to think about something like that, honestly. Like at least not Vince.
Very rarely do they surprise you. Like they did with the Styles Owens feud. They surprised me with that one.
Right.
With the way they've kept it fresh and interesting and kind of swerved you with creating tension with Styles and McMahon.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But
so overall have you changed your mind on any of the matches at SummerSlam?
Quite a few, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to get into it?
Well, one more thing.
Okay.
Shelton Benjamin signed with WWE.
Yeah.
He was supposed to debut last year.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't pass his physical, had to get surgery.
Right.
Now he's back.
Yeah.
And you see him, he was being advertised for SmackDown before.
I think he still goes to SmackDown.
You think he still goes to SmackDown?
Here's my question for you. Do you think he should be put like immediately in the main event scene?
No, I think start with him with the U.S. title, right?
Really?
Or feuding for the U.S. title.
Oh, I don't know.
Or maybe team him up with Chad Gable. Who knows?
Dude, tell me that Nakamura versus Shelton Benjamin doesn't sound awesome.
Of course it does.
Yeah, so why not?
Because due process, man.
Oh, God. Dude, but like that's somebody that paid their dues.
If he goes for the U.S. title, he's basically in the main event scene with the guys he's working with.
Yeah.
That basically is the main event
AJ
scene.
Styles sounds great, too. But...
Remember Shelton Benjamin versus Shawn Michaels way back in the day?
Yeah.
Where he like super kicked him off of that.
Off the spring, was it
springboard something.
Yeah. And
that was a moment, man.
Yeah.
I remember watching that live and just being like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. I think he, I think he should go into the main event picture. But I mean.
The main event picture is the U.S. picture, in my opinion.
Okay, so I think you should go for the main title. But you say that, but if Nakamura wins the title, is the U.S. title still the main event picture?
No.
Because Nakamura as WWE champion is a lot better than Jinder Mahal as WWE champion.
Jinder Mahal devalues the title. That's clearly what we're
getting
at here.
I wouldn't say that. Like, I don't think... Like, I'm not, like, interested in it, but I don't think he's been nearly the worst WWE champion we've ever had.
He's pretty close, in my opinion.
Oh, God.
Despite the fact that he's, like... tall, he looks like an athlete. He looks like a monster. I'm just completely uninterested in anything he does.
It's just because he's like the typical heel foreigner gimmick. Like that works for a while, but that was supposed to be Rusev. Like Rusev was supposed to be champion.
Yeah, they're supposed to be a little bit more creative than that. He just comes out and spits the same stuff each week about, oh, you hate me because I'm different. It's like, bro, nobody cares.
But all right, it's definitely a good thing to bring Shelton Benjamin back.
Oh, did you hear that Brie Bella had or Brie Bryan now, I don't know. She had an interview and she was talking about how Daniel Bryan's definitely going to wrestle again, whether it's WWE or not.
Right.
She's like, this is his passion, and I told him to follow it, even if you got to go outside of WWE.
Well, here's the thing, like, apparently, like, when he first retired, he said that the doctors told him he had, like, a lesion on his brain, which they were like, he read it as, like, oh, I've got a cut on my brain, like, I'm done wrestling, right? And so that's what he told Vince, and Vince was like, all right, well, you can't wrestle anymore. You your retirement thing, da 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 da. And he started getting more testing. Come to find out, like, the lesion didn't mean like he had a cut in his brain. Like, apparently doctors just call anything that they can't diagnose as a lesion. So, like, no, you don't have a cut. And like, they did testing, and they're like, his brain capacity is just like that of like a normal college football player. So just somebody maybe got a couple concussions, but nothing too severe.
He says well over 100. Easy.
The scans don't show that. And like, apparently he can do some testing where if he does...
he was having seizures backstage.
Hold on. I'm just telling you like what has been said. And apparently like the doctors have told him like if he goes through this testing so many times, it could look like he hasn't ever had a concussion in his life.
Well, they said that...
And this is just something I read yesterday. Like, it's
he's been cleared by multiple doctors.
Everybody but WWE.
It's the WWE doctors that won't clear him, which is why Bree is saying if he has to go outside of WWE to wrestle, he will.
Oh, he 100% will. But I think WWE should. I think they should really get with these other doctors that he's seen and figure it out from there. Because if he goes and wrestles and it's not in WWE, that's something that WWE is going to end up regretting. Because if he goes to ROH, if he goes to New Japan. Dude.
Did you see he
money.
tweeted Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, and Cody Rhodes tweeted him back.
Yeah, about like you're getting close to matching me for
he was like, hopefully
my longest reign.
Hopefully you hang on to that title for another few months or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it would be in WWE's best interest to talk to those doctors that cleared him and see if it really isn't as bad as they originally thought it was. Because if he wrestles, you want him to wrestle in WWE.
As a fan, do you really want to see him wrestle again? Because I don't.
If he's fine, like if he's legitimately fine.
With all this CTE stuff, like coming out with football, and obviously it's a big thing, like over 100 concussions, easy. Like, come on, man. Like, clearly he's going to have problems. If you care about him as a person and his family, like, you got to beg him not to do this.
Doctors are telling him that he's fine.
Right.
Like, who am I to argue with doctors? If they say he can wrestle, I'm like, hell
in your 30s,
wrestle.
bro. You don't get all this brain trauma in your 30s. It's clearly affecting people later in life, all these concussions. I think you got to talk him out. Like, I personally don't want to see him come back.
I strongly disagree with you.
Like, I would love to see Daniel Bryan wrestle again. As a person, I don't want to see him
If legitimately, again. Like, because, like, if so many doctors are clearing him, like, what... How can we argue against that? If they say he's fine, if they say he can wrestle, how can we argue that? And that guy's probably gone through more brain tests than fucking anybody else in wrestling, and they're like, dude, you're good to go. He's gonna wrestle again, and I want it to be in WWE, but if he goes to ROH or he goes to New Japan,
he'll
be immediately the biggest star in either company. Obviously.
Easy. For me, though, like, he would need to change his style, which I don't think he's going to do.
I know, he said he was willing to change his style.
It's clearly just that indie style wrestling that he does, that dangerous style. Because they interviewed Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think it was like a few months ago, and they asked him, how many concussions do you think you had in your career? And he said 1, maybe 2. And then they're like, really? Out of that whole career? And he's like, yeah, we're professionals. Like, the way we wrestle, like, we protect each other. We don't come in the office and get beat up every day. It's really just that indie style, man. The non-WWE style where they take chances, which is what, Miz and Daniel Bryan got into it for. He was calling Miz a coward for wrestling like that.
Right.
He needs to wrestle WWE style.
Which he said he would change his style up if they cleared him.
I'd be fine with that, but man, like, this is like, there's real like evidence that these concussions affect you later in life, and they affect you, like, your brain. Like, that's serious.
Yeah,
man.
there's
like,
evidence that supports that, but these doctors are telling him that won't be the case for him. Like, they're telling him that it's not as bad as they originally thought. So,
all right, I don't know if it's so bad you're having backstage seizures just randomly. That's crazy to me, but I get what you're saying. You just want to see him wrestle again.
Man, people have seizures all the time, all right? I do. I really do just want to see him wrestle again. Because, like, how think about this. Like, let me throw this at you. How awesome would this be if that ROH stable, that Adam Cole and the Red Dragon stable comes up to the main roster, led by Daniel Bryan versus, like, Kurt Angle and some people that he gets together? Dude, that has dream match written all over it. And if he's gonna wrestle again, if they're gonna clear Kurt Angle, They need to clear Daniel Bryan. I know they haven't cleared Angle yet, but and then Dolph Ziggler, that guy's had 700 concussions in his life, and he still wrestles.
All right, let's get on.
You're not gonna change my mind on this, man.
Yeah, I can tell. That's what I'm saying. Let's just move on because you're not gonna change my mind.
All right,
let's get on. Let's start with the undercard.
Okay.
We got the Hardys and the Hardys and Jason Jordan against the Miz and the Miz Taraj, a match we've already seen. It was basically the main event of Raw.
Hardys and Jason Jordan.
Is this a misuse of the IC title?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Why is it not being defended on the pay-per-view?
I think they're just giving the Hardys something to do since the Revival got hurt. I think the original plan was Jordan and the Miz.
So why couldn't they still do that and then have the Hardys just face the other two?
Time.
Or have the Hardys face the Club?
Time.
What do you mean time?
I mean, it's a full card. It's a big show.
It's not a full card because they got 3 or 4 of the matches on the pre-show.
A 2-hour pre-show, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a 6-hour show in total with the pre-show. You're telling me that they
nobody
don't have
wants to
enough
see
time?
a 6-man tag match.
Huh?
Nobody wants to see a 6-man
exactly.
tag
That's what
match,
I mean.
yeah.
Not why not just do Jason Jordan versus the Miz and the Hardys versus either the Miz Taraj or the Club?
That'd be a squash.
Which one?
The Miz
Either one?
Taraj.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's just it's 100% a misuse of the IC title because once Dean Ambrose moved away from the Miz, like Miz hasn't done anything with the IC title.
Isn't it the Miz that got pinned on Raw?
Yeah, it was.
I was surprised. I was like, really? He's got 2 lackeys to take these pins for him.
Yeah.
He's still eating the pins.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah. It makes no sense that this title's not defended.
Nobody cares about Bo Dallas
or
Curtis Hawk.
Your biggest show or your second biggest show of the year, according to WWE, and you don't even have all the titles defended. Like that pisses me off. There should be no reason why on a Raw pay-per-view, on a SmackDown pay-per-view, on one of the big 4, there's no reason every title shouldn't be defended. It infuriates me when they do stuff like that.
All right, well, next match we got
Akira Tozawa versus Neville.
Tozawa, right?
Dude, I don't know.
Who knows? It'd be awesome if they took away from him already. I don't think they will because the fans are starting to get behind them.
No,
this really kind of
Neville,
Titus worldwide. This kind of legitimizes it, right? Them getting a title.
I mean, a little bit. It's not like it's. I mean, it's the cruiserweight title. If it was like the tag titles or one of the other mid card titles, I'd
how
say
dare you,
a
sir?
little bit.
That's the top prize for Tozawa.
Well, sure, but it's like the least cared about title in WWE.
Especially now that it's stopping Neville.
Yeah, exactly. Like I guess Akira Tozawa, but I wouldn't be surprised if they put it back on Neville. If like they immediately were like, we shouldn't have done that. Let's right this wrong real quick. I mean, would you be surprised if Neville won the match tonight?
Is he still King of the Cruiserweights?
No, he doesn't have the title.
Do they still call him King of the Cruiserweights? Because that's a great moniker. He really looks like
I think they just say he was dethroned.
No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Maybe a Lost King trying to reclaim his throne.
I guess we'll see. So
Daenerys Stormborn and stuff.
You have Akira Tozawa?
Or Daenerys Targaryen.
You have Tozawa?
Yeah, I got Tozawa, but I don't care. That's probably going to be where I order my pizza.
This match shouldn't even be on the pre-show. Usos versus New Day.
I think they put it on the pre-show to give more time, and if that's the reason they did it, I'm completely okay with it. I like Biggie.
It's a 4-hour pay-per-view.
With a lot of matches.
Yeah, no, there's not.
There really is. You're just not.
What? No, there really isn't though. It's a normal pay-per-view.
It's not a normal pay-per-view. No, you're wrong.
No, I'm not. Because 3 of those matches are on the pre-show. So our main card has the 2 women's titles, the Raw tag titles, Baylor and Bray,
Orton.
AJ. Oh, I forgot. That should be
Orton
on the
and
pre-show.
Rusev.
I'd rather
Cena
than
and
put
Corbin.
I'd rather than put Rusev and Orton on the pre-show. I keep forgetting about that match because I don't care about it. It doesn't make that was a fill-in match. There was no build-up like the Usos and
yeah, but you're not gonna leave Randy Orton off, so they just gave him a last-minute little Rusev.
I'd rather them leave him off.
Yeah, they're not gonna. Do
you think this is more about Randy Orton, or you think it's more about Rusev?
Well, obviously, it's more about Randy Orton.
Why do you say obviously?
Because, man,
Rusev needs this. Do you think Orton
I don't think he doesn't need it. I just think that
Orton wins?
I think WWE holds him in higher esteem, obviously.
You still think Orton wins this match?
I don't. Can we go in order? You're jumping way off topic. If we're doing predictions, we're doing Usos and New Day undercard right now.
God, It's just I disagree. I think I still think the New Day wins, and I still think it's a mistake.
I still think they win. I don't think it's a mistake. Clearly, these guys are they're gonna mix it up again. Like the division's too shallow for them to not cross paths.
They're like the only two on SmackDown.
Yeah, it's crazy how over Breezango gets without even stepping in the ring.
Yeah,
Breezango.
I think that was a missed opportunity on them not winning the titles a few months back when they were
that
going
match
for it.
where like they're acting like janitors.
Yeah,
and that was awesome.
It was
That
brilliant.
was just something new.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But I mean, yeah, a New Day win, and I think it should be the Usos, and it should be on the main card. Fuck you, I don't care what you say.
I'm not saying it should be on the main card. I'm saying if they put them on the undercard to give them more time, I'm 100% down. All right, so
main time theory, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. They have a 2-hour pre-show where all they do is talk.
If it's a 4-hour pay-per-view.
They can give them a half-hour match in there.
All right, what's next?
And they need like a half-hour match, I think, to close this out.
Do you think they will? You think they'll go that long, really?
Yeah, I really do.
All right.
Hopefully, 6-man tag match and Cesaro and Neville don't.
No. God.
That would be awful.
So we're on the main card. What do you think opens the show?
No.
I think that's probably the first match,
Big
right?
Cass and Big Show with the shark cage.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think so.
get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a big attraction, right? That's why it's on the...
Why is it a big attraction?
Because you get this shark tank or shark cage.
Did you hear why they're doing that? Apparently, so you know.
So Enzo's afraid of heights?
Yeah, he's afraid of heights. So this is his punishment for being a douche, apparently.
Yeah.
And so
maybe
I'm wrong about them.
If that's true, all this bullying about JBL.
I know.
Now the WWE's doing it, we're putting a guy who's afraid of heights up in a shark cage.
This company is the biggest bullies for their... And they do that whole Be a Star campaign, man.
Speaking of which, off topic, I'm glad Ronaldo's back. I love that guy.
Oh, dude.
He's one of the best. He is the best announcer.
Yeah. And you know what? I think he fits NXT a lot better.
Yeah.
He fits down there because it's more about the wrestling and...
He's so knowledgeable, man.
The moves is...
Yeah.
But
I hate hearing Michael Cole say overhead kick when like Finn Balor does a Pele kick or something. It's like, bro, shut up.
Yeah. I'm glad Morrow's back too. I wish they'd get rid of JBL in total. Just because I just don't think he's that good. Honestly.
I love JBL.
So who do you have winning that match? Cass and Big Show.
Yeah, to get back on topic, obviously Big Cass and Big Show getting his hand hurt was obviously just a way to let him lose and protect him. Maybe even extend the feud, like Big Show gets one more.
Sure, why not? You know what I mean?
Because everybody wants to see it.
Yeah, Cass wins still.
Cass wins. You think Enzo drops something? That's what everybody's talking about.
I mean, they're still talking about him turning heel and rejoining because they don't think that it's worked out so far. So
maybe they just need another heel tag team. Now that Revival's hurt again.
That's probably true too. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe they bring up a heel tag team. A little AOP.
A little AOP.
A little AOP.
You know, it feels like that could be true because...
Why else would they drop him so quick?
Right,
man?
And it feels like Red Dragon went immediately into the title picture, so it doesn't even feel like AOP is going to get a rematch. Just bring him up right now.
Would anybody care?
No, I don't think so.
AOP versus Shield, bro. I'm down for that.
Yeah? Yeah. And they join the Shield.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. What do we got next? What do you think is going to be the next match? Probably one of the women's matches, right?
Let's go...
One of
Naomi versus Natalya. We'll save best for last.
Right. Naomi, and I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think Carmella cashes in, especially because she teased to cash in. So, yeah. But I think she comes out and teases it. She makes you think she's gonna do it, and then you know what? On my time, or maybe later.
Yeah. I agree.
So, are you sure it's Naomi? Yeah, let's go Naomi. I think Carmella's the one to take it off of her when it does get taken off.
Agreed. So,
yeah, we'll say Naomi. We got Randy Orton, Rusev.
Rusev needs it. I wouldn't be surprised if Orton won, but Rusev needs this win more than Randy Orton does.
I agree. We've talked about that. Let's just move on.
Yeah, I don't care about that match.
John Cena, Baron Corbin.
This is interesting because of what happened on SmackDown. Like,
don't remind me. Dude,
no,
I'm so mad about that still.
Corbin needs this win so bad.
Does he get it?
I think so.
John Cena has an 80% win rate for his entire run in WWE. Did you know that?
Jesus.
That's insane. In singles competition.
I'm not surprised.
Baron Corbin has I don't think a win does anything. I think he needs to beat the crap out of John Cena.
Not just a win. Like, he needs to beat Cena's ass.
This is my prediction. John Cena wins by DQ because Baron Corbin goes off the rails and just beats the crap out of him. And the ref counts to 5. He doesn't quit. Calls the match. Baron Corbin just keeps going.
Sign me up. And that writes Cena off so he can go off and do whatever he's got to go do, right?
Yeah. Shoot a movie, go to Raw, whatever.
Yeah, sign me
up.
But
I need Corbin to just act like an animal. A wolf among sheep.
I agree.
If he's going to get any kind of legitimacy back after that.
Yep.
Because he just looked like a fool.
I know.
He just looked like an idiot, man.
Just like again, like I said, I'm not mad he cashed in and lost. I'm mad how they did it. It looked bad. So Corbin needs this win, and I think I like your idea. Maybe he doesn't win the match, but it's because he just beats the hell out of Cena and gets disqualified. I'm in. Sign me up for that.
All right, so we got the Raw Tag Team titles.
Shield
wins.
Yeah. Again, because
new era in the tag team division.
Somebody's leaving to go film a movie. Sheamus is leaving, so it kind of makes you feel like, what does Cesaro do after that, though?
Back in singles competition? I don't know, man. I like this tag team of Sheamus and Cesaro. I'd like to see them
really
stick
fun.
together.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Get back together when he comes back. But the Shield definitely put some good life into this division.
It's funny. It's funny you point that out. Maybe them bringing up Authors of Pain, because I didn't even think about that's 2 heel tag teams that they're going to be missing on the main roster.
Yeah, they need somebody.
Absolutely.
Someone's filling that void.
Yeah, because who would even be left as tag teams? We would still have the Club would be the only heel tag team left on the roster, right?
All right. We got the Hardys. We got the Shield.
Yeah. Could you see a Hardy's heel turn?
No.
That'd be so fun, though, wouldn't it? It'd be interesting.
Not unless they do some kind of
I don't think it'd work.
They're too over, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Shield wins.
It'd be like Becky Lynch going. It's like, really?
Yeah.
You know, they actually tried to have Becky Lynch go.
I knew they tried to have Bayley
It was the plan.
Heel.
It was the plan when Natalya went. They were supposed to have Becky attack Natalya instead of the other way around. Because that's what turned Natalya heel.
Yeah, that'd have been interesting.
That would have been awful.
Off topic.
Becky Lynch,
as a heel, you don't think that'd work?
Becky Balboa, baby. I'm her biggest fan.
You got Shield, right? Obviously.
Yeah, Shield wins the titles.
I didn't think it mattered who.
Did you see their 2K18 little scrap where they were doing Friday? They were doing a press conference they were doing a podcast for 2K18.
Yeah,
and they started talking crap, and then they started throwing water bottles back and forth. Sheamus threw his chair, so Dean Ambrose threw a chair.
Yeah.
Did you see after that they're interviewing Dean Ambrose on some kind of like red carpet, and I guess Cesaro and Sheamus were just off to the side. Seth Rollins is nowhere to be found. And they're interviewing Dean Ambrose, and he goes, "Watch this." And he just pushes some random guy into or Sheamus. He's like, "What? It was him. It wasn't me." And they're like, "Really, bro? You want to go again?" Yeah. He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. I'm having an interview."
Right.
That was awesome.
That's good. I think it would be weird if they didn't win. Like
it would be weird.
Win.
Why bring them back together?
Yeah. Because I know, like, I understand there's times where, like, WWE doesn't like to, like, give you what you want immediately. You know what I mean? But this just feels like one of those times where they shouldn't screw this up.
This is a real dark horse for match of the night.
I agree.
Like, these 4 guys are just great in-ring storytellers. This could easily steal the show.
I agree, 100%.
And I don't think many people are thinking that.
Right.
But let's move on.
Okay.
We got Raw Women's Championship. We got Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. I'm so torn on this. I keep going back and forth, man.
You gotta give a final prediction. I'll let you think.
Sasha Banks.
Sasha? Okay.
Because I know you're going Alexa and I can't decide.
Yeah, I'm going Alexa. Do you think could you see Nia interfering? What if Nia interferes and costs Alexa the title?
That would be interesting.
Could you see that?
I just think that Sasha hasn't gotten the run she deserves. Like every time she's a 3-time champ, but each time like seemed like it lasted a month until Charlotte took it back from her.
It's because it did. She'd win it on Raw and she'd lose it at the next pay-per-view.
Exactly. I want to see Sasha actually get like a run with the belt that she deserves. I really do. Until Asuka comes up and beats the shit out of her.
See, but that's why I'm interested in it, but I just like Alexa so much. And if you want to talk about somebody that came up to the main roster and really improved, I think it was Alexa. Because that's not to say like she was bad in NXT, but like she never even really like scratched the surface for the NXT Women's title, and
now she's one
the
of
first
best
SmackDown and Raw Women's Champion.
She's just so believable in what she does.
She really is. And if she doesn't win, though, I think Sasha is the right pick to be the Women's Champion. Because I would have hated to see Nia.
It's weird to go against Alexa. Like, everything's telling me Alexa's going to win. Because, like, Sasha wasn't even supposed to be on the card a few weeks ago.
Right.
So, like, now they're just deciding to put it on Sasha.
I still think she would have been on the card, but I think would have been against Nia Jax.
Yeah, I think... Okay, see, now I'm switching my mind again. This one's hard for me, man. Because I think WWE's... I think they're going to keep it on Alexa, but I'd like to see Sasha get a run.
No, I mean, I agree. I would like to see Sasha get a run. I think Sasha... I'll say this. The only way I could see, like... Well, one of the reasons, like, I could see Sasha not winning it is because if they do this superstar shakeup again, her going to SmackDown makes a lot of sense.
Who would come to Raw?
I think you could bring... I think Becky needs to be on Raw. Because she just needs fresh. Maybe you bring Natalya to Raw.
I don't want to see Sasha get stuck with Charlotte again. I'm not interested in that.
Really?
I'm interested in Becky versus Charlotte. I'm interested in Bayley versus Charlotte. Well, not really. But I'm interested in Charlotte versus Alexa. That'd be fun.
Charlotte versus Alexa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Becky versus Alexa, Becky versus Nia, but I don't like Sasha going over.
We had Becky versus
I'd rather
Alexa.
you send Bayley over.
Maybe. I guess.
But I'd rather have this Bayley and Sasha feud before that happens.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to send someone over. I think you need to just bring Asuka or Ember up, but hopefully Asuka.
Yeah, I don't think Asuka comes up for a while though. It
or
just doesn't
both.
feel like she is.
How awesome would that be that they would just bring both?
Yeah. Well then, fuck. What would NXT do? They'd have no women left.
Mae Young Classic, bro.
But
here's a crazy idea. We were talking about this. Carmella teased this on a pre-show of TakeOver. Wouldn't that be awesome if she could like go to like NXT and like cash in, and just that's how the streak ends?
That'd be
like
awful.
Ember gives Asuka the fight of her life, and then Carmella cashes in, and just
that'd be so
the kind of heat that would bring.
Yeah, that'd be awful.
It sends Carmella back to NXT and makes her look like a damn genius. By the way,
I'd hate that. I don't know. But
what if she went to Raw and surprised us and cashed in on the Raw Women's Champion? Like, can that even happen?
Well, so like no, right?
We don't know.
Here's my
they
question.
Could do it.
Here's my question. Do you think they give Raw the Money in the Bank pay-per-view next year?
I don't
or do you think
so.
It's SmackDown strictly?
The way they did it back in the day, like, this is always a SmackDown exclusive. This is always a Raw exclusive.
Right, but this is not a pay-per-view that should be a one-brand exclusive.
I agree. It's the same as like Elimination Chamber. Like, why does that have to be brand exclusive?
No, but that's a little different. Like, because WWE or like Raw can do Hell in a Cell, SmackDown can do Elimination Chamber or whatever, and that feels fine. But like this stipulation is so tailor-made for both shows.
I remember one year. I don't remember which year it was, but we had 2 Elimination Chambers, one for SmackDown, one for Raw, on the same night, and that was just awesome.
Yeah.
They need to do like that.
I think they need to get rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view altogether and just move it back to WrestleMania.
Speaking of
I said that last time.
Pay-per-views, you hear they're thinking about bringing back Cyber Tuesday, Cyber Monday?
I know, they trademarked the name for Taboo Tuesday.
Taboo Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be SmackDown exclusive.
I'd be alright with that. Because when that first showed up, I thought it was like a dope concept, having a pay-per-view during the week.
Yeah, the fans pick everything.
Yeah, and it'll work a lot better now if it just replaces like SmackDown on a Tuesday night. You know what I mean? Because you're not really watching more wrestling. You're just replacing one show for another. Because they wouldn't obviously run both shows the same night.
Yeah.
But we gotta move on. We gotta start wrapping this up.
All right, we got Finn Balor,
like
Bray
an hour
Wyatt.
and a half now.
Before we get to the 3 main titles, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt.
Balor.
Obviously, you have to give it to the Demon King.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason you brought him out. And Bray has won a few feuds in a row. He definitely beat Seth Rollins, and then he got the clean win against Balor on Raw. This doesn't hurt him as bad as people think.
No, I don't think it hurts Balor at all.
Or Bray, but
why would it hurt Bray? The clean win?
When the Demon King wins, because everyone always complains that Bray loses at pay-per-views. He won his last one against Seth Rollins. He got a clean win against Balor on Raw. I don't think this hurts him as much as people are going to say.
No, probably not.
But you're still going to hear backlash when he loses, of course.
Yeah. It's just, like, my problem with Bray Wyatt is it literally just feels like he just moves on from feud to feud without any, like, rhyme or reason. Like, he just, for some reason, just shows up and somebody's match and just starts calling him out. You know what I mean? Like, that's my biggest gripe.
I hate that he called out Finn Balor after the shakeup when he got drafted to Raw, and then he waited like 2 or 3 months or whatever.
Yeah, that was weird.
He waited to fight Orton in that House of Horrors, and then he did the Fatal 5-Way, and then he cared about Balor.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that was weird. But I think Baylor wins. I don't...
The Demon King wins, sir.
Here's crazy. Like, they both need the win, right?
I'm excited for this entrance, Demon King.
They both need the win, but does a loss really hurt either one of them?
It hurts the Demon King.
So if he was just Finn Balor, it wouldn't hurt.
Right.
But if he's coming out as Demon King...
Because he's Demon King, he 100% wins.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. I say the rivalry extends afterwards, too.
It has to.
Yeah. It'll be 1-1. You got to finish it off. But, so now we're on to the 3 main titles. We got the U.S. title. AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, special guest referee Shane McMahon. This is the biggest question mark. As far as, like, we know probably what's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to happen. So that's going to be fun to see.
Yeah. Styles wins, but it's going to be interesting to see how Kevin Owens perceives Shane McMahon screwing him out of the match.
Yeah.
Right? That feels like that's the way they're going to go. If they're wanting to do Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens. Do you think they do that at Mania? Or do you think it happens before?
I read somewhere like a Survivor Series with Kevin Owens' team versus AJ Styles' team.
All right.
But I don't know.
I just hate...
I don't think we're going to see
McMahon, like, taking spots in WrestleMania against top stars.
I don't think we're going to see that because Raw is going to have SmackDown. Raw versus SmackDown are going to have their own teams. You really think we're going to have 2 elimination tag matches?
I would just rather them... Like, just do Shane versus AJ at Survivor Series. Or Shane versus Kevin Owens at Survivor Series.
I agree.
Just do it that way. Get it... Like, if you really want to do that, you can... Survivor Series is still considered one of your big 4 pay-per-views, so it's fine if you do it there, not at WrestleMania.
So you don't want to see that at Mania?
No, I don't. Because, like I said, like I don't like Shane McMahon taking a spot away from top stars. And... That's not to say, like, AJ versus Shane was good at Mania last year, but it still felt like AJ Styles should have been doing something else.
Well, he was supposed to face Shawn Michaels.
But I thought they were wanting to do that. They were wanting to do that at the Rumble. They were wanting to do that at Mania.
Yeah, Michaels just wouldn't agree to it. He said it 5 years earlier.
It just felt like Styles should have been in something else.
It felt like they didn't have a plan B. So
yeah,
like,
and
here.
It'll feel like, if they do that with Kevin Owens, it'll feel the same to me. I have Styles winning.
Same. We disagree on the next one, though.
Yeah, I have not.
WWE World Champion winning?
Yeah, I think Nakamura wins.
Or Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke? Oh, they're bringing the violinist back, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. I think Nakamura wins, but Corbin cashing in on SmackDown kind of has altered where I could see Jinder Mahal winning.
I got Jinder winning.
But
I wouldn't be surprised if Nakamura won. I think Nakamura's the one who eventually takes it off of him, but I see Jinder holding it for at least one more.
So here's the thing, though, with your predictions, you don't have any title changing hands.
I had Sasha.
You're not sure about that.
And I chose the Raw tag team titles to switch.
Oh, aside from that, that's the obvious. Like, you don't have any of the major titles changing hands. You don't have
no, because there's only 4 major titles.
Right. You don't have. See, I think Nakamura wins. I think Nakamura needs
it's such a moment, man, and it would be awesome.
Because you need it eventually, because I still think they want to do Nakamura versus Styles at Mania next year.
I'd be happy to be wrong, because I'm done with the gender thing, man.
No. I don't want Jinder to have the title anymore. And if they don't take the title off of him right now, I don't know what he does past this. Because you can take the title off of Jinder Mahal, and he can chase Nakamura for 1, maybe 2 pay-per-views. Yeah.
SmackDown's going to be boring for a while as far as the main event scene.
I disagree.
Nakamura and Jinder Mahal. You're interested in seeing 2 or 3 matches?
Well, because you figure Corbin will be hanging around.
I hope so. That's the plan. Unless they've given up on him, like you said.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope they haven't, man. I hope this just brings out a nastier side of him.
Yeah.
We can finally get that Braun Strowman on SmackDown feel.
Yeah. And then this is another match we disagree on. We got into a little heated argument earlier about it.
The Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah. I don't think Brock leaves with the title. But I don't know who wins it. I don't know if it's Joe. I don't know if it's Reigns.
So I know you say Joe. I would like to see Strowman win it.
I would be fine, literally fine with any of those three.
Any but Roman Reigns.
Anybody but Lesnar. Like,
Really?
I would rather. You wouldn't rather have Roman Reigns have the title than Lesnar, somebody who's not ever there. Like, I just want the title on TV all the time. And if Roman wins it via Shield interference, perfect.
If he wins it via Shield interference, I'll go crazy.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I'll lose my mind.
I think I would rather have Joe, win the title, though, because I think Braun still has more time than Joe does.
Yeah, well, it would really solidify Joe. But I think if he loses it, it goes to Strowman. I don't think he loses it.
I think he does. I think he has to.
But the Shield idea is so captivating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could.
He looks like a genius for predicting it, too.
Well, I can't even, like, it's been all over the place. Like, a lot of people want that to happen. And it makes sense, which is why I'm not necessarily sure it will happen. Because it makes too much sense for it to happen.
Yeah. All right, so tomorrow we're going to recap SummerSlam before Raw and hopefully get that to you guys.
One more episode. One more show this week. We're going to have 2 shows. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Having 2 podcasts.
2 podcasts in 1 week.
Yeah.
Just because SummerSlam.
Agreed. But I'm looking forward to it. Good luck on your predictions.
Woo! I'm not confident at all.
I'm not either. Like
I'm picking the obvious choices besides maybe Corbin getting disqualified.
But it feels like when you like go against the obvious choices in WWE, you end up with egg on your face. It's like, all right, well,
yeah.
WWE sometimes
try to think outside the box. Yeah,
yeah, and it makes you feel like if
I would be really happy if Nakamura won.
I just like every pay-per-view, like I just want them to do something big, and they rarely ever do anything. That
if they go off book and have Balor lose as the Demon King, I'll just lose my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like the one thing that they would do to surprise us. Like, you want a surprise? Well, here, Demon King loses. It's like, well, that's not the surprise we wanted.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But
hopefully the surprise is Undertaker showing up.
That'd be good.
That'd be good.
We'll see. I'm interested in it. I don't know if it happens, but I'd be all right if it did.
All right, guys. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for joining us here at 816 Podcasting and presenting episode 3 of Mark Out Wrestling. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at 816 Podcasting. And make sure you look tomorrow to see our SummerSlam recap. Thank you.